Hi, I'm Jim Schooley, and this week on Cultural Connection, I'll be talking with Pat Leer, and he's an artist from the Des Moines area.
Hello.
Well, Pat, you're showing your work here at Arts on Grand, and you'll be here for a month, or your artwork will.
Yep, Melissa was kind enough to invite me up here.
Very good. Well, we have a committee that looks into that, and then she gets to do the inviting.
Okay.
And so you satisfied enough minds that this would be a wonderful show to put up, and this is something that we don't see every day. And it's lovely, a lot of abstract variations in colors and shapes, and paintings that tend not to bore.
I hope not.
Pretty
try to
vibrant.
make them dynamic and energetic. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're the kind of artist, I think, that your work it contradicts your personality.
That might be the truth sometimes.
Okay, but anyway, we're really excited to have you here. There'll be a reception. That'll be on the first Saturday after the opening, which is from 1 till 3, and the public is invited to the reception. If you miss the reception, you just have to come in and do your shopping by yourself without a lot of people standing around. But we do like to have artists that have work for sale. I imagine that's your intention.
Yeah, there should be prices on all the work.
Absolutely, excellent. Yeah, I can see a few of these that would work into my decor perfectly.
Yep.
So.
You should buy a couple.
I'm tempted. What give us a little idea about your background then, as far as your work here. Is this the kind of thing that you've been doing in this vein for a while, or is this a fresh thing for you?
Sure. I've been painting for about 20 years. I was telling Melissa that I got out of college and went into something completely different than art, and took a painting class at community college, and I just started painting when I felt like it in my basement. Nobody ever saw my work, and I'd come home from work on a stressful week and pop open a beer and turn on some tunes and paint. And that was kind of my therapy for 2 decades.
Very good.
And just in the past few years, I've started showing my work more, and it's kind of started out more representative, pictures of things, and over time they just became more and more abstract, and it wasn't intentional, it just kind of happened. And now they're pretty much all abstract. Once in a while I do
Kind of a
something
creative
representative.
evolution.
Yeah.
So the name of your show, the Dissonance and all, I didn't get that exactly.
Dissonance and consonance?
Right. Can you explain that for me?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a name for the show, and
Always
looking
an interesting
at my work,
challenge naming things.
Yeah, and looking at my work, and I try to, when I'm painting something, I try to make it balanced, but at the same time I want it kind of edgy and kind of off balance, and I want somebody to look at it and kind of feel the energy that I'm feeling as I'm painting it. And dissonance is kind of that, forget exactly how it's defined, but it's kind of a chaos.
A kinetic energy that lacks description, I suppose.
Yeah, it's kind of a chaotic element.
Yep.
But then there's also, the colors kind of go together and everything kind of flows in a certain way. And that's more the consonants. Sorry, the words aren't coming to me.
Well, you
right
get kind
now,
of a calming effect, I think, as a result of, when you look at the work. So I suppose that, because I was intrigued by the name of the show. That's why I wanted to ask you about it, because I felt like, these are two really powerful words that don't normally occur together, but I can see why that would be a good name for the show.
Okay. You said it better than I could. But that's kind of it. I wanted to have both that calming effect and, wow, that's got a lot of energy in it. And it's a little off-putting, or it could be a little off-putting.
Well, sometimes I ask tough questions, but then That's how you get the good answers.
Appreciate
Now,
it.
as far as your work goes, you seem to enjoy having a lot of freedom. And, there's no boundaries with any of these things. The descriptions, are similar to the title of the show. And so now I take it, that, you just, you work a piece until it looks like it's done, and then you start another one. It's about the way it goes.
It is, and what I do in my normal day-to-day life is I'm an engineer, and everything I do has these constraints and restraints, and everything has to be, it has a correct answer.
Highly definable.
Highly definable. And when I paint, I just want to throw that all to the side and just go by intuition, and it's kind of almost a performance art to me as I'm painting them. And I don't want those constraints, and I don't want the restraints, and that's kind of where the work comes from. And I have a lot of misfires. I mean, even a lot of these paintings have been painted 2 or 3 times.
Sure.
And if something doesn't turn out well, and they often don't, that just becomes the underpainting for my next painting. And I paint over it the next week.
Well, you seem like someone who's, constructed, a kind of strategy to life, because you have the one side and the other, the complexity of work and the simplicity of your pastime. So I congratulate you on achieving success on 2 levels.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But it's exciting stuff, and I think people are going to be really fascinated to come in and take a look at what's here. It's something that you really want to enjoy personally and feel the energy. So
I hope they like it.
Yeah.
Genuinely do.
It's like anything, you get a few here and you lose a few there, and you just kind of run it all together and hope for the best, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be an interesting show, and we'll be fascinated hearing what you have to say about your work at the reception.
I look forward to it.
My pleasure. Okay, well, it's been a lot of fun chatting with Patrick Leer about his work. His paintings will be on display here at Arts on Grand for all of January and about 4 weeks. So I think we'll run the dates right along down here somewhere. And you'll want to come in, maybe see it twice. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Schooley. This is Cultural Connection. So till next week, keep it cool, Spencer.